All right, let's get started. These won't take very long. I think the homework's pretty easy. So inequalities. Okay, you've seen these before. Okay, if you're unfamiliar, you'll be familiarized with them very soon. Um, we're going to solve a lot of the inequality stuff the exact same way that we were solving equations before Christmas break. Okay, it's okay. We just put it up. Thank you. Okay, so less than sign. What's the less than sign look like? A line. Yes, two lines actually. Okay, so the less than sign has the point. Okay, going to the left. Okay, because you're going to read stuff left to right. So the less than or equal to is going to add what? Yeah, a line underneath it. Okay, so that means we would not only include less than numbers, but we'd include numbers that are equal to. So greater than, we're just going to flip, and greater than or equal to, we'll have the line underneath. Okay. Again, I think we're all pretty familiar with those. Okay, so let's look down at number one. Okay, we're going to get into some graphing on line graphs. Just for the sake of math theory, line graphs are always dealing with, unless they're designated, they're always dealing with the x-axis or the y-axis. Does anybody know? Yes, that is the x and the y put together, but in a line graph, we don't have two-dimensional, we have one. Okay? And that one dimension is the x-plane or the y-plane. Anybody have a guess? X. Cohen had a 50% chance of getting it right. Yes, the x. Okay? And actually, as you move forward in algebra, you'll work on the y-plane or the y-axis, okay, alone, and that will be working with imaginary numbers, but you're not going to do that now. So x is greater than -8. Okay, so first what we need to do, okay, is if I have a greater than or a less than, what kind of point are we putting on the line? An open circle or a closed circle? Does anybody remember? Or no? On the graph. On the graph. So if we have a less than or a greater than symbol, you're going to put an open circle, okay, or an open point, okay, at your value, okay. If we have the less than or equal to or the greater than or equal to, you're going to use a closed point, okay. So the closed point symbolizes the or equal to, that you can include that value as well, okay. So let's look at number one. We have x is greater than -8. So where's our point going to go? Where is our point going to go on number one? Where are all the numbers on our number line? There aren't any. That means you can just make your own. Okay. So I'm going to put number 8 right here, right in the middle. Is it going to be an open point or a closed point? It'll be open. Okay. So I'm going to open it. Good. Okay. So if we're saying x is greater than -8, which direction is this graph going to need to go if we're going to draw a line from this point? Which direction is greater than? Right. Yeah, to the right. And that's it. Pretty easy. Okay. Let's look at number 2. K is less than or equal to 5. So I can put 5 right in the middle because this number line isn't numbered. Is it going to be a closed point or an open point? Closed. because it is or equal to. Which direction is less than? Yeah, to the left. And now what this is telling us is that if you were solving this inequality and this was your solution, any number that is less than 5 or even 5 itself would be a good solution to that inequality. So really, the biggest difference between the equations and the inequalities, which is where the name comes from, is the equations almost always, especially in pre-algebra, have to equal one thing, right? X equals 2. And so if I went to plug in 2, that'd be the only number that would work for that equation. But an inequality, okay, does not necessarily mean that. It's more of a range of numbers that will work for a certain expression. I would like for you to try 3 through 6 on your own. So do those real quick. Help each other out. Please check with your neighbor to make sure you're on the right track. Okay, so your first step is to make sure you get your number on the line, get the correct point above your number, and then identify which direction the line needs to go. Okay, I'm going to put solutions up here slowly. Just look up as you're ready. Okay, number 5 and number 6 might trip you up. Why might they trip you up? Yeah, because it's reversed, right? So you got to kind of think of it like that, okay? So this is no longer number 5 is not P is greater than 7. It's 7 is greater than P, right? So that means 7 is the highest number. Now, if your brain does not like the look of the variable being on the right side instead of the left, what's something that you can do for yourself? Just flip it, okay? Now, when you do that, you need to make sure that the right part of the sign is pointing in the correct direction. So where is let's look up here for just a second, guys, so y'all can see what I'm talking about. So if we're looking at 7 is greater than P, okay? The smaller part of the inequality sign is pointing towards what? The point of the inequality is pointing towards what? The P. So if I want to flip it, I just need to make sure that the smaller part is pointing towards the P, okay? But then you can flip it, and then you can read it left to right, and it's a little easier for you, okay? So if we look at number 6, we've got -2 is less than or equal to n. It's going to be a closed point. and negative 2 is less than n, which means negative 2 is the lowest value, so I'm going to the right. Okay, how'd we do? 100%. There we go. Good. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so this is translating inequalities. Okay, so you've been given a sentence. Okay, a really short word problem. Okay, a number is less than 4. So how are we going to graph that? What's our number that we're using? 4. Okay, now what sign are we going to be thinking about? The less than sign, right? Okay, so that means it's going to be an open point. And if it's less than, we're going in which direction? To the left. Good. Try 8 through 11 on your own and with your partner. Try 8 through 11 on your own or with your partner. Okay. My son growls too. Oh, that's actually the same reason my son would growl. Yeah. He's 3.
I'm on the same page. Wait, I think it's less than or equal to. I don't know. Because it says at least, you know? It's at least trying. Because it's greater, that's less. No. No, I don't think you put the end. I don't know. What if it just say it's in the same spot? Yeah. So it's probably I don't know.
All right, here's number 8.
Oh, I got that right.
Okay. Number 9. Number 9 might be a little tricky, so you just kind of need to. It always helps me to kind of just like remove myself from working on a math worksheet and just think about what it said. Okay, it said a number is at least negative 2. So if I try and think of that in a way that makes sense to me. Okay, if I have 3 writing utensils, I would say right now I have at least 3 writing utensils. So that means I have at a minimum how many? 3. Could I have more? Yes. Can I have exactly 3? Yes. Okay. So it's an or equal to problem. Okay. So it's going to be a closed point, and -2 is going to be the least amount that I could have. So I need to go to the right. Okay. Number 10 and number 11 are kind of similar, just using different phrasing. I'm going to let you work on those for a second if you still need a chance.
I get it. I get it.
Okay, number 10. A number is no more than 9. Okay, so if we're saying a number is no more than 9, 9 is going to be the highest number we have or the lowest? The highest. And can we include 9? Yeah. It doesn't say to exclude it. Okay, so it's going to be a closed point. So if a number is no more than 9, and so that makes 9 the highest that we could have, which direction we need to go? Left. Okay. Number 11. A number is at most 40. 40 is the number we're working with. Is that going to be an open or a closed point? Closed. And 40 is the highest or the lowest number? The highest. So we need to go.
Wait, what? Oh, I got it right. I did too.
Okay, not bad. All right, let's keep going. So this section's kind of nice. It helps you start to visualize what numbers. It helps you start to visualize which numbers will fall into this solution, and what we'll call it later is a solution set. Okay, but let's look at number 12. Yeah. Say that one more time. Yes. Number 12, you have x is greater than or equal to -6. So then what you're going to do is you're going to look at the number that comes after the semicolon and determine, does that number fit into the solution? So what I mean by that is, let's pretend that you don't have to draw this, okay? But when you're working these, sometimes it helps. Let's pretend we've got a number line with -6 right here, okay? And then we have a closed point, and we're saying x is greater than, so we're going in this direction. You have to determine, does 4 fall on the line that you drew or not? Okay, so where would 4 be on this number line? It'd be -5, -4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Be over here. So does it count? Would it fall into the solution? Yes, because it would fall on where the line, where the graph is, right? All a graph is representing values that are good solutions. Okay, that's all a graph is. And really, a graph is just showing you the trends between a bunch of solutions. So if we just have the one line, as long as it falls on that line, then we would say yes. Okay. So let's look at number 13 real quick. Yeah. You okay? Okay. Number 13, we have n is less than 8. Okay. So you have to determine, does 11 fit into n is less than 8?
I'm honestly
Confused? No problem. So the way that I would do these, if you're not sure, is you're just plugging in. So basically what it's giving you is an inequality, and then it's going to give you a value. You're going to take that value, you're going to plug it in, and then you're going to ask yourself, is this true or not? Okay? So I'm going to take 11, and I'm going to plug it in for n. Okay? So now I'm going to have 11 is less than 8. Is that true? No.
what is that?
It means it
It is low.
yeah. Yep. Okay? So let's look at number 14. We have k is less than or equal to 2. So you can just go and plug in. 4/3 is less than or equal to 2. What do we think? Is 4/3 less than or equal to 2? It is less than. If it were equal, this would have to be a 6, right? 6/3 equals 2. There's just 4/3, which is just a little bit over 1 and less than 2. Okay, so that one is a yes. Okay, do 15, 16, and 17 on your own. So it would be like this, Alex. 4 is greater than or equal to -6. Do you agree with? Do you agree with that? So that's why it's yes.
What is that first one? Number 12?
Yes. You have an unequal sign. That's why this unit is called inequality, not equation. What do you have here? All right, number 15. Number 16. Why'd I put no? Because if I plug in 15, it'd be 15 is greater than 15. Is 15 greater than 15? No. Okay. Then I plug in 1.7 is less than or equal to -1.6. Is that true? No. And then we take -3/2 is greater than or equal to -9/5. Is that true? Okay, any questions on this front page before we move on? Cool beans. Let's keep going. Okay. So now we are going to work through solving these inequalities. Focus, please. Okay, so we're going to work on solving these inequalities now. Okay, you're going to use the same steps that you used to solve the equations for Christmas break. The only difference has to do with if you are multiplying or dividing by a certain kind of number. So if you multiply or divide by a negative number, you must flip your inequality symbol. Okay, so what that means, let me just show you a quick example over on the left under two-step inequalities. Let's say you have negative 2x is greater than 6. Okay, now if we're just solving this, you can almost pretend in your head that that inequality symbol is just an equal sign. So you'd have negative 2x equals 6. How do you solve that? How do you get x by itself? Divide both sides by negative 2. Okay, so this goes into the rule that I just told you. If you multiply or divide by a negative number, you have to flip the inequality sign. Okay, so you'd have x. Now you no longer have greater than. You have less than negative 3. Okay, and that would be your solution. X is less than negative 3. Mm-hmm. Now, when do you flip the inequality symbol?
If you multiply or divide
by a negative number. Okay? So, let's look at number 18. 3x plus 1. Sorry, hold on. Y'all can look at number 18, and I'll just fix this real quick. Okay, so if you look at number 18, you got 3x plus 1 is less than 10. Okay? So, again, we're going to solve this the same steps that we used to solve our equations. Okay? I'm going to locate my variable. It's on which side? The left side. What's being done to the variable? Multiplication and addition. So we need to do PEMDAS backwards to undo these. Okay, so how do we move the 1? Yep, subtract 1 from both sides. It's going to cancel out the 1's. Give us 3x is less than 9 for 10 minus 1. And now how do I get x by itself? I go through my same steps. Locate my variable. It's on the left. What's being done to the variable? By 3. So how do I undo it? Divide by 3. X is less than 3 would be your solution. That is written in inequality notation. And then you are also going to write it as a line graph, okay, for your answer. So your answer is going to be 2 different answers on this right here. You've got x is less than 3, and then I'm going to go down here, put my point on the line graph for 3. X is less than, which means I'm going to be going back to the left. Okay, work on number 19. Here, I'll do number 19 with you, and then I'll let you do another one. So we've got a over 5 minus 6 is less than or equal to 6. Okay, so we're going to identify where our variable is. It's on the left. What's being done to the variable? Yes, so which one do we undo first? By adding 6 to both sides. Bring down the a over 5. Less than or equal to 6 plus 6 is 12. Okay, now go through the same steps. Locate the variable. What's being done to A? So what do we need to do? Multiply both sides by 5. 5s will cancel out. Give us A. A is less than or equal to 12 times 5. Then I'll take this solution down to the number line, mark 60, closed point because it's or equal to, and A is less than, so I'll go back to the left. Yes. Okay. You are please work on 20 and 21. 20 and 21, and then we'll check them. Yes, you can.
What?
We're supposed to flip it?
I'm not on that part. I'm still on the 18 by 22.
Look at the flip. I would have done
It's right on the floor.
Bro.
Oh, you did.
That's not yours.
And then
divide, right?
negative 2y. Yes. And then we divide. You divide negative 2, right? You divide negative 2, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Did I multiply wrong? I got 2. Divide.
So that will cancel out.
Yeah, you would
Wait, is Brian putting a line under the line?
Oh, I
It's two.
Yeah.
Aren't you supposed to flip?
No, I just well, that was for that one. Hey.
I told you. I was like, maybe we should flip it because it's divided by 6.
So flip the actual sign in the solution. So
Oh, it's this way. Oh, it's that way. Okay. Yeah. I told
I'm hungry, okay? Can I not be hungry? I don't want to know. I'm so scared.
Also, it's a sick.
What if everyone gets in but one person? Everyone gets in but one person. No. I want to go to this kid.
Why not? I'll be all alone. But my parents are like, you should go to. I'm like, it's because my sister went, and now they're just forcing me to go.
I don't know. He said he's getting in. What happened because of what he did? He said, I don't know. I mean, he said, I'm still getting in.
Run away.
Oh, no.
I know.
Wait, for what? Try to prep? I want to apply there because what if I don't get to fine art?
Yeah, apply to
Yeah. And then I'll be like, oh, because they have a four required. They're not moved. But I heard they're not moved. But fine art, yeah.
And then what fine arts do you have a little That's why I don't like
okay, let's check 20 and 21. So on number 20, we identify the variable is on the left side. It's being multiplied by -2 and added by 22. So we're going to subtract 22 from both sides. It's going to give us -2y is less than -4. Then we're going to divide both sides by -2, which means that triggers the one special thing. You divided by a negative, so you've got to flip this sign to be greater than now. So you have y is greater than 2. We'll go down to the graph. On 2, it would be an open circle. Because we flipped it, it's y is greater than. Yes, the only time you have to flip it is if you multiply or divide by a negative. Which one? Number 18 is because we divided by a positive number. Okay, number 21. I'm just going to put the solution up here. Okay, there's 20 and 21. You have about 10 minutes to go ahead and work on your homework. It is posted to CUDA. Rangers did sign DeGrom, though. I said the Rangers did get DeGrom. I'm pretty pumped.